You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Once again, it's on. My name, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at Jim Grease _. And a tough one today, man. Just all the way across the board. And it's not a good day to be a Miami Marlins fan. It hasn't been a good year to be a Miami Marlins fan. Started with a 9-game losing streak. You've had a 6-gamer, 3 5-gamers. And, you know, you're playing pretty well coming out of the break. It's been a dismal season. It's been tough on you all just from the jump. And then, 7 players traded today for the deadline, including Tanner Scott, including Josh Bell, including Trevor Rogers out of nowhere. And, we'll go through all the trades on the show. That's what you see on the rundown there. Marlins trade 7. And then 2 and out tomorrow. Just a quick 2-game series against Tampa Bay. The Marlins have been terrible against the Rays. The Rays 24-3 against Miami since 2019. This is your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, and the players might be very different right now, but we're here every day, and we know you're consistent too. You every day, or shout out to you as well. Thank you for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST a part of your day every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today's show brought to you by SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical job and get fast shipping from coast to coast at SupplyHouse.com. All right, here we go. Thank goodness we do the POSTCAST show here and not Locked On Marlins. Poor Pete, having to keep you abreast of all those trades and everything that happened there. My job is to tell you about the games, and here's what happened in the game today. The Rays went 3 games over 500. They're 3 games out in the wild card race. 24 of their last 24. Hold on. They've won 24 of their last 27 games against the Marlins, dating back to 2019. It was Emmanuel Rivera's 2-run homer. Gave Miami the lead in the first inning. You're thinking, hey, you know what? Trades, schmades, they're okay. 2-run shot early in the game for Emmanuel Rivera gives them the lead. Jake Berger actually hit a solo shot in this game. Xavier Edwards added 2 hits. Fortes was 3 for 3. Not a terrible day for Miami. Edward Cabrera, 2 runs on 3 hits in 5 innings. Everything was looking good. But then when Austin Kitchen came in and after Declan Cronin, it was just a disaster for Miami. And I left the O out of Cronin, and there's no O in Cronin anyway. There was no D or P in Cronin today either. But, a tough one for the Marlins, really. And Cronin and Austin Kitchen got crushed. We'll talk about the trades, but Josh Lowe with a single, a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI for Tampa Bay. And, it's a big game for him. And Ben Rortvedt, Ben Rortvedt, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Brandon Lowe, 2 hits. Jose Caballero, 2 hits. And he stole home. He stole home, man. Fortes had a catcher's interference on that one. Christopher Morel, the trade from the Cubs for the Rays, he added a solo homer in his second at-bat as a Ray, his first hit after coming over from the Cubs. And, Jeffrey Springs made his season debut on the mound for the Rays, 6 2/3 innings, 2 runs on 6 hits, striking out 3. The Rays were buyers. The Marlins, major sellers. They started playing well after the All-Star break. They split with the Mets. They take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. They take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. And that was literally all she wrote, man. The Marlins absolutely decimated by the trades and the trade deadline today. And, there's just no way to sugarcoat it. There's no other way to look at it. They're just absolutely decimated. Absolutely decimated. Can't wait for football season. University of Miami and the Dolphins. We'll have the postcast for those teams. Do we have a mercy kill on the Marlins show? This is ridiculous. The Dodgers scored big in the trade deadline. The Braves didn't. We'll give you the trades in the second part of the show. Look, Jazz Chisholm hit another home run for the Yankees. He's got 3 in 2 days. Puck went to the Phillies. Tanner Scott to the Padres with Hoang. Trevor Rogers to the Orioles. Man, just a tough go. Tough go for Marlins fans right now. Extremely tough. How about that? Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers. They needed a frontline starter. All right, so here's the trades, all right? Brian De La Cruz, DLC, traded from the Marlins to the Pirates, and with Paul Skeens, they're now competing, and they're right on the fringe of the wild card race. Right on the fringe of the wild card race, right? So Brian De La Cruz, this is reportedly, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa goes to the Pirates. The Marlins get Jun Seok Shim, and the Blue Jays get Charles McAdoo. De La Cruz with a pretty good year. 245 on the season. Pretty good power. He's got a terrible chase rate, though. He swings at everything. That's one thing with De La Cruz. All right. Got a little bit of a cold going, guys. I don't know if you hear that in my voice. Sorry, I'm a little slow. De La Cruz still has 3 more years of arbitration remaining. Good utility player for them, and that's a tough one for the Marlins. And how about this? The Padres get Tanner Scott and Brian Hoying from the Marlins. They get Robbie Snelling, Adam Mazur, Graham Pauley, and Jay Bashirs. Don't know anything really about much of those guys. Scott, I think the premier lefty closer in the game. Nearly unhittable four-seamer. Great move for the Padres with Tatis and Machado. They're in the playoff race in the National League. Of course, now with Tanner Scott and Brian Hoying, they're reunited with their former teammate, Luis Arraez, the best hitter in the game since Tony Gwynn, who was traded to the Padres from the Marlins in May. So Arraez, Scott, and Hoying fortifying and bolstering the Padres for the Marlins. We are not done. Plenty of trades still to get to. How about the Mets getting Paul Blackburn from Oakland for Cade Morris? Royals got Lucas Ursig and Paul DeJong from the A's with the White Sox in the mix there. Trevor Rogers goes from the Marlins to the Orioles for Connor Norby, the number 9 prospect in their organization. Back of the rotation starter for the Orioles is Rogers. Yankees got Mark Leiter Jr. They also got Jazz Chisholm Jr. That was a big trade. Chisholm to the Yankees, I think, is the best deal that anybody made with the Marlins. And this one hurts a little bit, even though it was from last year. George Soler, the big bopper in the middle of the – I can't believe I just said big bopper. The big gun in the middle of the Marlins lineup last year goes back to the Braves from the Giants. That move didn't work out for them, and the Giants were more sellers than buyers. Dodgers got Ahmed Rosario. That's not a bad move there. Justin Turner goes to the Mariners from the Blue Jays. I'm just trying to find one more trade here from the Marlins. There's one more deal to the Diamondbacks. Where are you? Where are you, Josh Bell? The Mets got Jesse Winker from the Nationals. I'm just looking. Josh Bell went to the Diamondbacks. I'm just looking for the specifics there. Jazz Chisholm Jr., Augustin Ramirez, Jared Serna, Abraham Ramirez. For some reason, I might have gone by the Bell trade. Christopher Morel goes to Tampa Bay for Isaac Paredes. And the Rays got some pitching help, too. So we'll keep you posted. But the Marlins traded everybody, pretty much. And De La Cruz, and Bell, and Puck, and Rogers, and Hoying, and Tanner Scott, and Chisholm, and Luis Arraez, and I don't think I missed anybody. If only we were sponsored by some alcohol here tonight. Just crazy when you think about it, right? Absolutely crazy. The Marlins were just completely picked apart by every team imaginable at the deadline. Every team imaginable, man. And it just is, I mean, some fan bases out there really, really struggling and suffering. But De La Cruz and Scott and Hoying and Bell, it just is, oh, man. And the Padres are building a mega bullpen with Tanner Scott. And we'll talk more about these things as the show goes on. It really is. It's disheartening. It's hard to imagine going through the rest of the season with what this team has. They got a lot back. We'll assess that as the days go by. We'll see how they play once they are integrated. But Tanner Scott gone, Josh Bell gone, Brian De La Cruz gone, Jazz Chisholm gone. Chisholm, Bell, Scott, De La Cruz, Puck, Hoying, but De La Cruz, Bell, and Chisholm. I mean, look, man, with a record like they have, 39-68. They were up 2-0 and 3-1 today. They lose 9-3. It's just been a terrible year. Let's go football. You're watching your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me, Grease. When I come back, I'll go through the trades even more. Berger and Rivera, 2 of the guys still left. How do you feel if you're Jake Berger right now? Will the last man still standing please wave the flag or bring the flag or whatever the hell it is. Jake Berger, all my friends are gone. All my friends are dead. They're not dead. They're just gone. The old me is dead and gone. Look at Skip Schumacher, man. Oh, unfamiliar fish, same result. Locked On Marlins postcast rolling right along. Keep it here. Well, there is good news here. That is that no matter how bad the Marlins are and no matter how many players they trade away, Josh Bell, Tanner Scott, Brian De La Cruz, Jazz Chisholm, Brian Hoying, Trevor Rogers, who's counting. The instant confidence boost that you get from an outfit that makes you look really good is still there no matter what. That's what you get. That's what I get. That's what we all get with Stitch Fix. You get a stylist who understands your style with Stitch Fix, your size, your budget. They do all the shopping for you. It is the easiest way to update your wardrobe this season. And in a city like Miami, ooh, you got to look good to feel good and be good, baby. It is the MIA. Easily upgrade your wardrobe this year with a professional stylist that helps you find new, on-trend favorites that will work for you. That's what you get with Stitch Fix. I just give my stylist my size, my style, and my budget preferences. I order boxes when I want, how I want. No subscription required. And they send 5 just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations, pro styling advice. I keep what works. I send back the rest. No obligation. They send the right pieces anyway. The fit's on point. It's like they have ESP. I don't know how they do it, but they just get me at Stitch Fix. They make it so easy. I don't like to shop. Okay, I'm lying. But they save me time and effort. I get large outfits that make me look and feel really good. Large wasn't in the copy. Mine's a size large. I don't know why I said that. I just did. Anyway, if you don't love something, you send it back. Shipping, returns, exchanges, always free with Stitch Fix. For style that makes you feel as good as you look. Get started at stitchfix.com/MLB and get $20 off your first fix. That's stitchfix.com/MLB for $20 off. stitchfix.com/MLB. Must redeem within 7 days of sign-up. Offer does not include kids' fixes. Locked On Marlins postcast rolling on with a question for you. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. The question will come momentarily. First things first, I Grease Freaks all the honeys. I want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins postcast your first listen every day. And I don't freak anyone. I'm just kidding. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And you can't even joke about freaks anymore. Thanks, Puffy. Lord have mercy. And the Marlins can't even keep a player in town. We're going to go through the trades. Un momento, por favor. Your Locked On Marlins postcast brought to you today. That's right, by Supply House. We love Supply House. Here with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical job. And get fast shipping from coast to coast at supplyhouse.com. Coast to coast like some of the Marlins players are leaving today. And it's just, where do you even go for this? How do I even follow the decimation Miami Marlins trades? It's just, how do I even say it? How do I even, I feel like I eulogized my dad last year, and I feel like I'm eulogizing the Miami Marlins in a way here. Yeah, they traded Rogers, Scott, Bell, and De La Cruz today. Yikes, man. This is absolutely crazy. Man, oh man. Rogers, Scott, Bell, and De La Cruz. De La Cruz went to the Pirates. Bell went to the Diamondbacks to join A.J. Puck there, who had already been traded. Scott goes to San Diego with Hoying, where they join Luis Arise, and Rogers goes to the Orioles. So Rogers goes to the Orioles. Chisholm goes to the Yanks. Bell goes to the D-backs. De La Cruz goes to the Pirates. So D-backs in the wild card race, a little ahead of the Pirates. De La Cruz now in a playoff race with the Pirates. Scott and Hoying with the Padres in the thick of the wild card race in the National League. No guarantee there, but Tanner Scott, a big thing along with Luis Arise, a big part of that. And Hoying can help them too, long reliever spot starter. And then Rogers to the O's back of the end rotation. Jazz Chisholm has 3 homers already for the Yankees. So, man, this is The Marlins, people getting fat off the Marlins, and Bell with the Diamondbacks, and they got A.J. Puck already, and they're looking to make a run. And look, they went to the World Series last year. They're not a huge payroll team. The Marlins went to the playoffs last year. I was begging this team day in and day out. No trade zone. What happened? Do you not remember? I feel like David Sampson and his whiny little 5-year-old voice are back. I feel like this is 97 all over again with Wayne Huizenga saying he wasn't going to break up the team and lying to everybody's face. Respect for the dead, Mr. H, but still, that's true. I just can't, guys. I can't with this right now. Every single day, I was talking about the no trade zone, and there were so many things that we're going to have to pick through the rubble here because they obviously made their choice. They obviously made their choice to move on from this group. They were very upset, clearly, about what happened with this group's performance this year. The attendance is never a good thing in Miami, so they can't afford to pay the team, and they just ship them off. Bell he had $5 million left on his deal. They're getting cash back. They're probably going to end up paying $3.5 to $4 million. They trade Josh Bell for $1 million or $1.5 million. Why not just add some peanuts and popcorn while you're at it? Maybe a hot dog. Is he even worth that? I don't know. I said no trade zone, and I guess that they were not listening to what I said because with Chisholm, with De La Cruz, with Bell, Berger, you had one bat in the lineup. Soler, who they had last year, hello, and then with this team, with the rotation, with Weathers and Luzardo coming back. Didn't think they were going to trade Rogers, Cabrera, Munoz. I don't think Rogers was going to be in the rotation long term anyway. Myers back now. Alcantara's coming back. Tanner Scott was the best closer in baseball for this team. You had Scott, you had Alcantara, you had Soler, you had Chisholm, you had DLC, you had Bell. They definitely had a playoff team next year coming back. And now it's a rebuild. It's back to the drawing board again. This team has proven over and over again, this franchise has proven over and over again that they don't deserve support. They don't deserve the fans to nonstop, and the fans don't show up. You want to know why you get 10, 15,000 fans? Because you've never had any consistency, for one. When you had good teams on the field, you were playing in a bowl of soup every night at Pro Player Stadium back in the day. I covered the team in 97. I did the post-game show for the Marlins in 03 and 04 when they were winning, and they had Beckett and Penny and Burnett and all those great players. The D-Train, Miguel Cabrera, for crying out loud, was a freaking Florida Marlin. So was Gary Sheffield. So was Bobby Bonilla. So was Craig Counsell. Leiter, Fernandez, Brown. Miguel Cabrera. Mike Lowell should have never been traded. They don't deserve, there should not, I'm not going to say anything else. Anyway, it's Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. It's frustrating, right? This team is fun and likable. Look at what Jazz Chisholm's doing with the lime green belt, using Aaron Judge's bat to hit a home run last night in Philly for the Yanks, and they're beating the Phillies. Watching Jazz Chisholm jumping around like a little kid, laughing, joking. Can you imagine going from this crap organization that he's playing for in Miami to the Yankees and competing for first place? He and Rogers are going to laugh together in Baltimore. They'll probably go out for a steak. Man, we got the heck out of there. DLC's playing with Paul Skeens. Bell in Arizona with Puck in the race in the NL. Tanner Scott in San Diego. Miami to San Diego is a lateral move in terms of the cities. Either city's incredible. The one thing is no state tax in Florida. San Diego, they tax you to death. That's a tough one for Tanner Scott. He's not making a huge cash yet. He's a rental anyway for the Pods. They have a great bullpen. Look out, San Diego. They could be that team that gets hot down the stretch and makes a lot of noise, maybe even makes a World Series run. Cardinals could be too in the Central. I like the Brew Crew, though. Look at Skip Schumacher there. What did they do to me? Why did they do this to me? He is a victim today. We're all victims today of this organization yet again. You're watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, 2 and out tomorrow. The Rays have won 5 in a row against the Marlins. The Rays are 24-3 in their last 27 games against Miami. What can the Marlins do to change this? I don't know, because none of the players are here anymore. We're going to talk about what we think could happen on the other side. Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. They finish up against the Rays tomorrow, and we will be right back with the final segment of the show. Keep it here. All my skilled tradesmen, paging, calling all skilled tradesmen. I'm a skilled tradesman, but not like you. I call skilled tradesmen like you when I need actual skilled tradesmen to do things that only skilled tradesmen can do. And that is when I hope that you and they get their supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, supplyhouse.com. That's right, supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast with Supply House. Need help with an order? No problemo. Get expert support, industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Master Trade program. Every trade master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen every day. New copy alert, new copy alert. For your second listen, how about you enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast? Host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully, shout out to my boy Sully, here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, and again, thanks for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen. We're free, available wherever you get your podcast. That means Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, we are there. Also on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. I'm here. I didn't get traded. I didn't leave. I could put in a request for a trade. I'm ready for the Dolphins and the Canes, though, and then the Heat after that. I'm good with the Miami shows. But you know what I mean? Why don't I put in a trade, too? Hey, I want to go to Locked On Yankees postcast. I want to go to Locked On Orioles postcast. Braves, Phillies, I'll take them. Dodgers, give me one of those. Come on, let's go. I got Miami. It's going to be made up for in football season, though. Marlins scored 2 in the first. Rays got 1 in the fourth. Marlins 1 in the fifth. Rays 5 in the sixth inning, 2 in the seventh, and 1 in the eighth. The sixth was a disaster for the Marlins. And they had a, you know what I mean? Look, in the first inning, Emmanuel Rivera hits a 2-run homer, and you got the lead 2-zip, right? And you got Jeffrey, what's his name? Jeffrey, why am I drawing a blank? Jeffrey Springs. Thank you very much, Jeffrey Springs, for the Rays. And, Jeffrey Springs had a rough start with that 2-run homer, given up to Rivera after Edwards had singled and stole second after Berger flew out to center. Berger hitting second today. All right, just catching up with the Marlins lineup there. It became 2-1 when the Rays added one in the fourth inning. Cabrera pitching allowed a homer to Christopher Morel, 420 feet. Traded from the Cubs, got there today. Hey, get off the plane and go yard. Nothing wrong with that, right? Berger does the same in the fifth. Didn't get off the plane, went yard. 3-1 Marlins there after 5 innings, and it was a 1-2-3 fifth for Rivera. Really not. They had a caught stealing in there, so not a 1-2-3, but faced the minimum number of hitters. Then in the sixth, it fell apart for the Marlins. Declan Cronin came in after Cabrera walked the leadoff hitter. Morel was hit by a pitch. So a walk for Cabrera in facing his last hitter. Morel hit by a pitch by the first hitter base for Cronin, right? And then Lowe doubles to right. Brandon Lowe scores. Lowe doubles him, and Morel goes to third. Rortvedt singles. Lowe scores. Morel scores. Diaz singles. Palacios scored. Rortvedt scores. And bam, they hang a 6 spot. No extra point, but they hang a 6 spot like Tom Brady was still playing for the Bucks. Then in the seventh, they add 2 more. They hang a deuce on him. Why not? Caballero doubles to left. Lowe scores. Caballero goes to third on the throw. And then, he scores on a balk. Didn't really steal home. Catcher's interference, balk, steals home, whatever you want to call it. What do you call it? And then Lowe doubles to center, scores Diaz in the 8th, and it's 9-3 Rays. Kickers duel, 3 field goals to 1. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I'm still letting this all sink in. Bell to the D-backs where he joins A.J. Puck. Scott and Hoying to the Padres. Their bullpen is sick. Hoying a long reliever. Scott now joining that bullpen already. Look for them to make a run. So Bell to the D-backs to join Puck there. Scott and Hoying to the Padres. They join Luis Ariz there, right? De La Cruz to the Pirates with Paul Skeens there in the race. Unbelievable. Trevor Rogers to the Orioles. Chisholm to the Yankees. The Marlins have stocked the cupboards for a lot of teams. And it's just become an embarrassment at this point. An embarrassment to be a fan of this franchise. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of you, but I hope you can enjoy the content here. We'll get to know the new players as best we can. We'll go day by day, and we'll let you know what's going on with this team. We'll keep you posted every day after your Locked On Marlins postcast. That's what we're here for. We're here wherever you get your podcast, plus on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. Don't forget, August 9th, the Dolphins kick it off, the preseason. 3 preseason games, every regular season game. We will be here, Locked On Marlins postcast. The University of Miami, all kinds of hopes and dreams under Mario Cristobal heading into this season. We will be here with your Locked On Canes football postcast after every game there, too. Football coming up. We'll be out on the road as well with Locked On. So many amazing things coming your way. This football season, we are going to explode with the growth. Make sure you follow your NFL team right here with Locked On Podcast Network. And, of course, Locked On MLB with our guy Sully, and many, many more shows about to launch coming your way on the Locked On Podcast Network. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. The players might be gone, but we're still here every day with your Locked On Marlins postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. The Marlins blown out 9-3 by the Rays today in Tampa Bay, and I want to tell you that we'll be here every day to keep you as sane as we can and take you through the games with your Miami Marlins. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. We are out.